You know what? It's not a matter of him struggling or not, because you can make a legitimate argument that he didn't struggle because he made the right plays as he articulated, or you can go with what Markeith said, and then you can say, yeah, you shot 1 for 7 from three-point range and you did struggle. Here's my deal. Are you the superstar player you've proclaimed to be or not? The fact of the matter is that Ant-Man is special. We all know this. And you saw how special Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was. That individual pride is what I was looking for. I don't want to hear something like, I made the right play. Okay, when you play a 48-minute game, your season potentially is on the line. Nobody's really coming back from a 3-1 deficit. That's very, very rare in NBA history in the conference finals. And you find yourself in that precarious of circumstances if you lose this game. One would think that you would embrace the level of aggression that's needed in order to do all that you can do to ensure that your team does not lose. That's what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander did. They got blitzed by over 40 in Game 3. What does Shai do? Shai, the reigning league MVP, a man you watched hoist the MVP trophy just a few days ago, goes out there on your home turf and drops 40, 10, and 9. I'm going to repeat that again. 40, 10, and 9. And your response is, well, you know what? I don't think I struggled. I made the right play. When it was a relatively pedestrian offensive performance for you, that's inexcusable as far as I'm concerned. Ant-Man is so much better than that. And the reason why the Minnesota Timberwolves are in this position to begin with is because he didn't just focus on doing the right thing. Sometimes you have to engage in hero ball. Sometimes you got to be a little bit selfish. Sometimes you got to go out there and display a level of aggression that might turn people off until you turn them on because you're a showstopper. That's what I was looking for from Ant-Man last night. I did not get it.
Kirk?
So what? I don't think it mattered that he struggled. I don't think he had a choice, to be honest with you.
Man, you've been feeling that way about OKC for a little while.
I've been feeling you damn right.
That's right. You didn't feel that way in Game 3, though.
Hey, listen. I told you what was going to happen last night when we was on Countdown. I told you what was going to happen last night. I told you that the Oklahoma City Thunder felt some type of way about Anthony Edwards having back-to-back 30-plus point games. And damn it, they went out there and showed it. Y'all have to see this in person. We are witnessing one of the greatest defensive teams in NBA history. Like, usually you could search a mismatch and search for somebody that you want to pick on. It's not the case with the Oklahoma City Thunder. You're starting Luke Dort off on Anthony Edwards, who is a linebacker. He probably weighed 235, 240, getting physical. Then you bring in Alex Caruso, the specialist, and then you got Casey Wallace they're throwing at him. Multiple bodies time and time again. Again, SA, Twins, let me say this. They scored 126 points at the crib. They couldn't get stops. That was the problem. Well, you score 126 points at the house and lose?
Yeah, but see, you could talk to the Twins all you want to about how you got to see it in person. I was standing right next to your big ass self, okay? I was standing right there next to you. I was right there. No, I got you. I was standing right next to you, okay? You and the crew, all those kids, all of they're all here with us. We're all together, right? So we're sitting up there, and I said to you, how in God's name can you justify Ant-Man attempting 2 shots in the first half? There is nothing you can. I don't give a damn about how good Alex Caruso, Casey Wallace is, Lou Dort, the linebacker, masquerading as a basketball player because the brother's a linebacker. That's how big and strong this brother is. I don't care. You're Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards. You attempt more than 2 shots and a half of a conference finals game. Now, if you're talking to me about makes and miss, I get you. We're talking about activity. We're talking about aggression. We're talking about the fact that that wasn't clear. That wasn't evident in Game 4 last night. There is no excuse for that. I don't care what anybody says.
I will agree from this standpoint with you guys. Anthony Edwards, we know this, is the heart and soul of that team. He does give that team swag. And when he comes out and he's aggressive on both ends of the floor, he definitely set the tone last night. In that first half, I will say he was missing and didn't set the tone, which he should have set, especially in a crucial game.
Should he have shot more than 2 times?
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't say that, damn it.
I just said it.
You tried to weave through it all eloquently. Just say
I'm just going to say
he
something
should have shot more than 2 times.
About OKC defense. The Timberwolves scored 260 points in 2 games. Like 260 points in two games. There are flaws in that defense, right? But the beginning of this game, we said, soon as we seen Ant Edwards shoot 2 times in the first half, me and you both looked at each other and said, they're in trouble. There's no way you now they're not going to allow him to get a rhythm in the second half. And now you coming down the stretch where you need big buckets and he don't have a rhythm. Like, we all watch guys get rhythms, no matter if you miss or make. Get that rhythm early because, quite frankly, if he plays well like he did in Game 3 when he was just super, super, super aggressive no matter who was on him, they blew him out. They literally blew him out. But now he's not aggressive. The game stays close and it's down to end. And it didn't even seem like it was as close as it really was, to be honest. But they still won. I mean, OKC still won by 2, but it didn't even seem like the game was that close just because Ant Edwards wasn't aggressive, and you figured down the stretch that would come to show that he didn't have his rhythm.
Let me ask you this, and I'll come to you, Markieff. What scenario do you feel like could derail OKC at this point? Because right now it feels like they're completely in control.
That's tough, man. And I'm going to piggyback on what Perk says. That defense at home in OKC is a tough place to play. Game 5, Western Conference Finals, it's almost going to be impossible to beat OKC there, but we have to see what Ant does. And not only Ant, let's talk about Julius Randle a little bit. Like, Julius Randle was a no-show yesterday. Literally a no-show. Him and Ant combined for 6 for 20, 1 for 10 from the 3, and 21 points total. Ant had 15 of them. Yeah. Ant had 18 of them, I'm sorry. There is no way that we're letting Julius Randle off the hook like that.
Go ahead, Ed.
Well, let me say this to y'all. Randle, it was bad. 5 points, 1 of 7 shooting. That's 14%.
It was horrible.
It was awful. It was horrible. But here's the issue. We all know that Randle has no business dribbling the basketball. You know, he's very, very powerful, close to the basket, play bully ball, or launch the 3. When you put the ball on the floor, you're going to have problems if you're Julius Randle, as they showed in Game 2 when they neutralized him, okay? He's not a ball handler. So anytime you see him ball handling, it's problematic, all right? So we got that part. That ain't Ant-Man's excuse. He don't have that excuse. And again, you understand that Dagnall was sitting up, defensively, where your focus lied. You had Caruso on him and others. We get that part. I'm just talking about a level of aggression. And when you don't show that in a game of that magnitude, I don't know about y'all. My arrangements are made. It ends Wednesday night. I'm traveling. I already made my arrangements. I ain't thinking about coming back to Minneapolis for Game 6. There ain't gonna be no Game 6. There's not gonna be a Game 6.
Go ahead,
Keith, I know you and Marcus have a lot of disagreement, and I could tell he is a stubborn individual.
Yeah.
And Molly, Stephen A., I'm very disappointed in the both of you. I've been here for 6 years. Okay, I've been on First Take for 4 years.
Damn, I thought it was longer than that.
No, it's longer than that.
Oh, I thought it was less. I felt like it flew.
And listen, Marcus, listen. Y'all doing an outstanding job. Yes, y'all say a lot of things with y'all chest out. Y'all know y'all basketball. But the thing that I learned, you're going to be wrong at times. Okay.
Yeah.
And Marcus, you have been wrong. And Molly and Stephen A., you guys have let him off the hook. Y'all have not brought up receipts from the beginning of the postseason when he came out disrespecting this Oklahoma City Thunder team, talking about they didn't want to see the Lakers, they didn't want to see the Clippers, he didn't believe in them, they wasn't this, they wasn't going to do this, they wasn't going to do, and they doing everything he said they wasn't going to do. Because they got every piece and they check all the boxes. They have a championship experienced leader on their team in Alex Caruso, who has been the unsung hero that I call the specialist. Now, when I used to get it wrong, it used to be the flashback moments where y'all would...
Hello, xin chào tất cả các bạn nha. Mình sẽ giới thiệu cho các bạn về kênh của mình và những video của mình, cho các bạn biết được là kênh của mình làm video sáng tạo nội dung về chủ đề gì. Video của mình sẽ làm xuyên suốt về chủ đề cắt dán này. Mình sẽ cắt dán những sản phẩm như thế này cho các bạn xem. Còn đây là những sản phẩm mình đã hoàn thiện rồi. Sẽ giới thiệu sơ qua cho các bạn xem những sản phẩm của mình và cách của mình tạo ra những sản phẩm như thế nào. Và để tạo ra được những sản phẩm đa dạng màu sắc như thế này và như thế này thì mình sẽ cần những dụng cụ như sau. Những dụng cụ phụ bổ trợ như là đây là giấy thủ công màu các bạn. Trước mặt bên tay phải của mình đây là giấy thủ công màu, nó có đa dạng những màu sắc, để tạo ra những sản phẩm tuyệt đẹp cho các bạn xem. Đấy. Có giấy màu xanh dương này, giấy màu cam này các bạn này, giấy màu đỏ này, giấy màu vàng này, còn đây là giấy màu xanh lá cây. Đấy. Và trong quá trình tạo ra những sản phẩm của mình cần